The impact he made on the space race is still felt today.
After the tragedy, space capsules underwent significant redesign. Astronaut spacesuits immediately changed from a nylon to a non-flammable beta cloth.
And that's just naming a few. Had he lived, there's no telling what else Roger B Chaffee might have accomplished.
Statue of Chaffee is about to be unveiled in downtown Grand Rapids. Local group believes this honor is long overdue. Here's 13 on your side's Brent Ashcroft with Our Michigan Life.
When visiting certain venues in downtown Grand Rapids, it's hard to miss seeing statues of individuals who helped shape the community. Gerald Ford and Jay Van Andel are two of them. Another one is about to have his image forged in bronze. Roger B Chaffee. The Grand Rapids Central alum played an important role in the space race back in the 1960s. His untimely death and the immediate changes that followed made an impact on achieving humanity's goal of walking on the moon. A local veterans group didn't want him to be forgotten.
Being memorialized is being remembered forever.
He lived a short life, but he crammed a tremendous amount into it.
Few have been memorialized like Roger B Chaffee.
Everybody liked him.
A road in his hometown bears his name, as does a building at his alma mater, Purdue University.
I definitely knew the Chaffee name.
From a crater on the moon to a mountain on Mars, not even the bonds of Earth can contain his impact.
All of us were surprised when he ended up in the astronaut program.
His career was taking off.
I remember so well the day of the tragedy.
Literally.
It cast a gloom on a lot of us.
Until the fateful accident that took his life.
I thought about it many times.
Roger B Chaffee grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He graduated from Central High School in 1953.
Just an unusual guy, even in high school.
Dave Thompson was his classmate.
He ran track with me a couple of years.
After college, Chaffee's eyes turned to the skies. He became a Navy pilot, which lured him to the space race.
To have a Navy man in that role gave all of us reason to puff up and feel proud that one of ours is now, in fact, going to be an astronaut.
His first space flight assignment would also be his last. January 27, 1967. The crew of Apollo 1, made up of Chaffee, Virgil Grissom, and Ed White, were inside their spacecraft at Cape Kennedy, practicing for their February 21st launch. An electrical short ignited a fire inside the cabin. There was no escape. All three astronauts perished.
To have somebody do as well as he had done through life to get to that point in time, only to have an accident take his life far, far too soon.
5 decades later, Chaffee's memory felt like it was fading.
Rarely did you ever hear his name mentioned. It kind of bothered us.
Thompson's group of local veterans did something about it.
We began to look for a place or a cause to use some money that we had in a treasury. Maybe the proper thing to do would be to honor Roger Chaffee.
How about a statue? Enter Brett Grill.
There's a special pleasure in being involved in a project like this.
His work of prominent Grand Rapids citizens can be seen all over.
I've done a handful in West Michigan.
The first step?
Getting access to these was a bit of a challenge.
Finding the exact spacesuit Chaffee wore.
The Rocket Museum in Huntsville, Alabama has 4 of these suits.
Accuracy matters.
The suits that they wore in the training missions for Apollo 1 ended up not being used in subsequent missions. So consequently, there aren't many of them out there.
So the buckle across.
That experience,
he holds his gloves in his hand,
led to this living image in clay.
This maquette is exactly 3rd scale and captures really all of the details that the final sculpture will have.
It's absolutely perfect.
The next phase was scaling it up to full size. Grill spent months carving.
If you don't have the facial expression right,
chiseling,
if you don't capture the body right,
and refining before the bronze was finally poured.
If it doesn't feel like there's a living, breathing person inside the metal, then you've failed.
The install site for the statue is here.
I'm anxious for everybody to see the finished project.
The corner of Sheldon and Fulton in downtown Grand Rapids.
This is a dream come true.
Roger B Chaffee's memory, what he meant to his city and his friends,
It's a big thing for all of us.
was not going to fade.
That is a story that is kind of on the periphery. It may be in danger of being lost.
Not under Thompson's watch.
People who knew him will reach out and touch that statue because it's Roger.
A deserving memorial for another one of Grand Rapids' favorite sons.
Bronze is a material that doesn't degrade over time. It's a story that's going to last.
The Michigan Military Preservation Society is the name of the nonprofit organization that raised the funds to pay for the statue. The unveiling and dedication of the statue will happen this Saturday, May 19th at 1 p.m. And again, it's at the northwest corner of East Fulton Street and Sheldon Avenue in downtown Grand Rapids near the entrance of the Children's Museum. Chaffee's widow, Martha, and his children, Cheryl, Lynn, and Mark, will both be on hand, as well as some astronauts. The public is welcome to attend. More information about the Chaffee statue dedication can be found on our website, wzzm13.com. Just click on this story, guys.
Really great, Brent. And the best thing we heard right near the end of the story, the word deserving. Deserving.